We are here. We have overcome the technical difficulties, and we are the Young Cavs.
Hello, we are the Young Cavs.
And that's Punch.
We're with Punch today. Say hi, Punch.
Kix is upstairs, but she's laying down. But, yeah, there we are. Sorry, guys. I'm just, double checking that everything's set up because this is our first one, so we want to make sure it's good. Whoever's watching right now, we tested our audio. We're almost positive it's fine. But
yeah.
if you're in here, tell us how our sound is. If we should mess with it, if you can hear us, are we coming out of both speakers? Because YouTube likes to mess with our stuff.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It's a trial and error until we get everything the way we want it to. Punch is trying to balance on my extremely skinny leg.
And Punch is a large cat.
Yeah, so it's working. But welcome, guys.
So basically, do you want to give the rundown of what the Pop Culture Cave is?
Sure. So this is the Pop Culture Cave. On this podcast, this is where we kind of do a mixture of just kind of casual talking, chatting about what we're doing in our lives. But we also go through and talk about the movie news, the game world, the film world, and the television world, and just kind of talk about the news. Because there's a constant stream of news that always happens in both fields. And we just thought it would be very cool to do a show where we kind of give our thoughts on it in a general sense.
Keep talking. We're just, like we said, guys, we're fine-tuning things. I just realized I can check the volume. I have a device.
Perfect.
So, yeah, just talk a little bit. There's going to be feedback for a second. But
we've done a few of these before.
And then I'm going to say something?
For sure. I just don't want to annoy people with double feedback.
Yeah, so that was quick.
Cool.
Sweet.
We've done a couple of these before on our other
Ocho,
channel.
I think.
I
think we did 8.
We did 8 of them, yeah. So we're a little seasoned, but just with the new settings, we had to get everything up to date. A couple things we're going to be talking about today is obviously the new direction of this channel. Kind of what we hope that we can bring. Maybe some different show ideas that we're tossing around. I have one specifically that I really want to do. Maybe I'll ask the audience if they want it as well. And then talking about the new Witcher trailer. I've never played the game, so we'll probably have to play the game before the series comes out on Netflix.
Tyler's not that good at video games.
I'm not good at video games.
So because of that, I feel like we can make some pretty great content for you guys. I mean, I am good, so don't worry. You're still going to see good gaming on here, too. But I think, I don't know, training Tyler, teaching Tyler games. I don't know what to call it. But I feel like you guys will get some really solid content out of that.
Get some entertainment out of me, hopefully. And don't worry, about, offending my feelings or whatever. I'm not, I won't get hurt, You can bash me all you want if it gives you enjoyment.
Yep, but let's keep it in good fun, of course.
Yeah, of course. We want this community to be very
uplifting and positive.
And a positive community.
And not just of us, but of each other
everybody.
too.
Yeah, everybody. No, I want to, another thing I hope to bring is inspiration to pursue your dreams and pursue what you love to do with your life. That's kind of what I hope to bring to the channel. Also, film knowledge. We're going to be talking a lot of industry news and
same with the game side too.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of stuff behind the scenes in the industry. Maybe educate you on some names and some things that people you've never heard of.
The implications of Sony's PlayStation Studios, for example.
Which I haven't heard any news about that in a while, but... what else are we going to talk about today? Spider-Verse 2 just announced their...
Spider-Verse 2 is announced.
Release date, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2.
The Sonic redesign. Leaking. And is it valid? Is it true? That's definitely something I want to talk about on here.
Mm-hmm. And the Rise of Skywalker trailer. We will be giving our thoughts on that. So... without further ado, let's just get right into it.
Oh, Mason's here.
Hey, Mason.
What up, Mason?
How you doing? I really liked his sweater.
Yeah, I know. That was the first thing that Tyler said when the video started. Not when I was showing him before it was even posted. When I was showing him the video that you sent us, the first thing he says instead of "Is this real? Is this happening?" was, "Man, That's an awesome sweater.
Like, that's a really nice. I was like, well, not only that, I was like, he looks really good in that sweater. Like you look really good in it too. Like, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan. Actually, I told him I might want to go buy it. Like,
yes.
I might actually want to go get one of my own. So I'll have to do some research.
Too funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll start on our topics, I think. But this is the most loosey-goosey podcast we're probably going to do for a while.
The loosey-goosey.
Loosey-goosey, baby.
Loosey-goosey.
Loosey-goosey. Who gets that reference? Please tell me, like, you guys...
I don't.
You guys get that?
I don't get that.
School of Rock. Come on, that's our generation. The best movie of our generation.
It's been a while since I've seen that. That's been a hot minute since that.
Mason said it was so comfy in that American Eagle sweater.
It looked comfy. Like, it looked like, ooh, winter's coming, you know? And not like Game of Thrones, but like,
yeah,
winter's coming.
But
that's one thing about me too, is I'll just grab these obscure references of something will remind us of whatever comes out of somebody's mouth.
Dark Dragon.
Yeah, Dark Dragon. That's a reoccurring phrase that'll probably pop up every once in a while. Dark Dragon.
But this is exactly what I was talking about when I said it's going to be a little more loosey-goosey. We're going to run through our topics, and we're going to talk about the channel move and stuff, and just, like, things you can be expecting. But at the same time, like, if the chat starts popping and you guys are asking questions, you're totally going to hijack this stream today. Like, we're fine with that, you know?
We'll
like,
answer any questions.
We'll go whatever way you guys want to go for the most part. Nathan says he wears it all the time, by the way, that sweater. So that means he's comfy all the time.
Comfy all the time.
Comfy all the time.
You gotta be comfy all the time.
You gotta sell a shirt. Just says comfy all the time.
Comfy all the time.
Mason Conrad. But what topic do you want to get us started on? You want to talk about more channel stuff right now? More topics?
We'll get through the topics. Let's talk about the Sonic thing.
Okay.
The Sonic leak.
So, as someone who is more in the movie world than the game world, that's a Sonic movie. What are your thoughts?
Right.
One, just on this entire situation of Sonic, from the beginning, from when we first saw that terrifying trailer, all the way to now.
I don't know what popped up over there. If you want to, it just popped up yellow. I don't know what that is, but I'll keep talking.
We're live. It's just warning us that there's a little buffering.
Oh, okay, cool. It's interesting when they do this, like, when they try to make these... One, video game films are its own kind of big topic, right?
Yeah.
To talk about. So, I personally feel like this whole...
What's up, Flaming... I don't know how to pronounce it. Oh, it's a Pokemon, duh. I thought it was, like, another language that I didn't know. What's up, Flaming Quilava? That's so funny. Sorry, more people are just popping up.
Oh, what's going on? What's up? What's up?
But keep talking about it.
No, I just think it's really like... What's the word I'm looking for? Misguided? I guess we'll call it misguided. But I feel like these studios, they take this big IP. They're like, ooh, what video game can we kind of almost exploit, right? Like, I'm not a big video game person, but I just feel like it's not treated with the same respect as the comic book genre, right?
Yep.
Like, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but it's like, we're just going to rip this IP, throw it in live action, right? We're going to call it, like, animation in live action, grab some popular celebrities, and, like, it's kind of like the Chipmunks thing or whatever, and it just seems very short-sighted, and it doesn't really seem like it's giving the respect it deserves. Where it's like, why wasn't it, like... I mean, okay, so you look at Spider-Verse. I know this stuff just kind of came out, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe, I guess you could say that Detective Pikachu kind of worked. But I feel like they got...
Detective Pikachu is the most successful video game movie of all time, right, which is a crazy thing to say.
But they got people that cared. So, I mean, it all goes back to the creative team behind it. Like, you have to really if you want to do your research, you can. And I forget what studio made this film, talking about Sonic. But it just kind of seems like they're riding that wave of the Detective Pikachu. And they're like, oh, let's get on that board. And doesn't really look like it's going to be a very good movie. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. It just looked a little rough, and not just based solely on the Sonic design. I just think the trailer was weird. It's like him. It just didn't give me a sense. It didn't feel like Sonic, actual character.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, you brought up some really interesting points too. That I hadn't heard talked about too much. but the comic book movie one, like, yeah, comic book movies and comic books and video games are similar as in they're mediums that aren't movies on their own.
Right.
That someone had to adapt this already giant medium into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like comic book movies, even the bad ones from the 80s and 90s, were still given more respect than like most video game movies now.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
For sure.
And that's kind of interesting that you pointed that out, because it's like, yeah, like, is it that stigma of like comics have been around since before the 20s, you know?
Right.
Like, they've been around for a long time. Like, DC came out after that, but it's still like they've been around for a long time. DC's been out for what, 90 years? Right? They came out, the first DC comic
85,
was in
something like that.
Yeah. So like, I guess comic fans have grown up where video games are newer, where video game fans are kind of just now growing up.
It makes sense.
So like, they haven't been able to get in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, they're just now starting to flood the industry. That's such an interesting comparison. I would have never thought about it that way. Go.
See, that's something you'll also get on this podcast, is interesting perspectives, and you'll be like, oh, I never thought about it that way.
We're so excited to go back and forth, like, and create new content and not abandon the original spirit of this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because a lot of times when people are like, we want to try so much new stuff, they leave behind everything that they built on and everything that made them great in the first place. But we're still going to have the gaming content that you guys know and love. We're still going to have the unboxings that you guys know and love. But then we also are going to have new content that's going to be in the same vein as that other content, but it's going to be different. We both have unique perspectives together, and we can use that to make some new stuff. Mm-hmm. But you're still going to get the stuff that you originally came here for and love. That's all I wanted to say. So thank you so much again for welcoming us, because we knew it was going to be pretty positive, just because we had Mason's vote of confidence, and we put a lot of work in that video to show like what we can do and stuff. But like how overwhelmingly positive it was, like I wasn't expecting like all those digital internet hugs. Yeah, Keith said it's fine. It wasn't long.
Awesome. Thank you, Keith. But back to it's so interesting how, and I mean, I'm sure this has happened before, but like the immediate like reaction of the internet to that first Sonic design was like, the fact that, because I was actually blown away that the director was like, I mean, good on them, honestly, as a studio, good on them for being like, yeah, no, we'll go back and redesign that. But, like, that costs millions of
TWS, we're going to get to your question after Sonic. So
yes,
thank you.
I'll finish it up. But it costs millions of dollars to redesign that. There's like, like a visual effects team can be hundreds of people.
So, here's my question. And I try not to get too conspiracy theory-ish.
Okay.
But with video game movies, like, even when something is a current big IP, which stands for intellectual property, just anything that you guys know, Star Wars, Spider-Man, Mario, Pokemon, Zelda, those are all IP. They're someone's intellectual property. They're something that people have heard of before. That's what we mean when we say IP. But
that they let these studios make movies of, basically. Or games or whatever.
And even when something is a huge IP, it needs to be the biggest in the world, or else it doesn't really translate to video game movies. Assassin's Creed is huge. That movie still flopped.
Right.
The next Assassin's Creed game that comes out is going to make hundreds of millions, if not billions, within like the first... Well, not billion. It'll make hundreds of millions, if not over $1 billion in the first month. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how big games are and how many people buy them. And yet, those people didn't go to the movie. Mm-hmm. So, it took something like Detective Pikachu, where Pokemon Go literally had a seventh of the world's population playing it.
Right.
So with Sonic, Sonic's one of the classics. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows who he is. Yes, it's proper English, Zach. But, Assassin's Creed's bigger than Sonic right now, I guess is my point.
Okay.
And that flopped.
Okay.
So I almost feel like it was a marketing move.
Totally.
Like they planned to make a creepy looking Sonic with human teeth.
Totally.
And because then the internet would freak out because one thing the internet loves more than anything is a rage party. So I just feel like it was all planned for the internet to freak out and then them to look like good guys and say, we're going to fix this for you.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to, well, if you're asking my opinion, yes, I think that's what it was. They could have easily went in, cut the trailer, right? You could have easily had the original Sonic design that looked great. And then you cut the trailer, and then you decided behind the scenes, hey, for just the trailer shots, all the shots in the trailer, we're just going to make this, like, terrible, terrible, terrible version of Sonic. And then we're gonna spin it, and our whole marketing and PR firm and everybody is going to do like this, we're going to save it, we're going to fix it for you to get people, to win people over.
Exactly.
To get people to pay attention. That stuff totally happens, guys. Like,
but then again, sorry, now I'm thinking about it.
Could have happened that way.
What just surfaced, I don't know if you guys saw this yet, but what just surfaced on the internet a few days ago was Sonic toys that are probably never going to be sold.
Okay.
Because they look like the original movie design.
Weird.
But
see, that's weird.
So
they wouldn't spend money to produce toys.
So I forgot about that. I've been so on my Sonic conspiracy train for a long time. I forgot about the fact that there were toys that just have been revealed that it's like, well, these aren't going to get shipped.
Okay.
But I think it was just marketing for them though. So I don't know.
Still, that's money spent.
Yeah.
Everything, especially in the game world too. But everything costs money, so you have to look at the dollar value of everything, and So maybe I don't know. I don't know if that conspiracy holds. If they actually spent money to make toys.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this new Sonic leak is credible or verifiable? Do you believe it? It's just a picture of the poster from some random movie theater that's not even listed. No one knows what theater that is.
Yeah.
It's just a picture of a poster. After the Grinch leak, I don't know if I can trust anything.
What was the question that was asked?
The question was... No, we're actually getting to your question right now, TWS. He literally just... You didn't miss it, no. He was asking... Let me go back a little bit. I know it was Mario. When is a new Mario game coming out? It's annoying how they only give us 2 per console. So... Have you seen the Mario Sunshine stuff, Clan? I'm just gonna call you Clan. It's too long to say all the letters for me because I have to look down every time, but I can remember Clan. But have you seen so Mario Sunshine is where the name Delfino comes from, Mason of Delfino.
Gotcha.
Delfino
Which
Plaza.
I didn't know that until yesterday. So that's good.
Delfino Plaza is the location that Mario Sunshine takes place in. Mario Sunshine is a universally loved Nintendo game, and it's all tropical. That's the whole thing. It takes place on this tropical island. Basically, picture Hawaii, picture any place like that. That's Delfino Plaza. One of the big things in that is there's fruit, and the fruit actually plays an important part of the game. It's not just a decoration. You do stuff with the fruit. So Nintendo... During the newest Nintendo Direct, right? The chat will tell me if it was. I think it was during the most recent Nintendo Direct. But while it was happening, they would talk for a second, sitting in front of their desks, and on the desk there's just a pineapple.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, it would go to the new video games that they're announcing or the new stuff that's coming out, and then it would go back to them, chilling at this table. And then there's some watermelons and some grapes, and the pineapple's gone. There was all this fruit-centered stuff, and then they tweeted something about Mario too. Something about because in Mario Odyssey he doesn't have a... You can get a swim trunks Mario, or he doesn't have a shirt on, and everyone was freaking. The world was freaking out. The world was like, Mario's got nipples, but everyone was freaking out about that. But Nintendo tweeted a picture of swim trunks Mario or something like this. And it basically said, someone's really enjoying the sunshine today,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. And the game was called Mario Sunshine. And then right after that was when they were doing the Nintendo Direct, and there's just all these different fruits on the table every single time that they'd come back, and all the fruits were fruits that are in Mario Sunshine.
Right.
So I think we're going to see the next game sooner than later. Whether that is a port of Mario Sunshine to the Switch or a sequel to Mario Sunshine, I'm not sure. But if you look at the ad listings, it's not on Nintendo's website directly. I forget the websites that that the industry goes to like hire people. But Nintendo has listings out for people to work on a new Mario game. And the Switch is very early in its life cycle. So we're definitely going to see another one, I think, sooner than later. And I've heard rumblings that they're working on a Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2. So I know that's not a mainland Mario game, but we have Mario Maker 2. We have Mario Maker 2 now, Mario Odyssey for the Switch, and Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. We're probably going to see another Mario Sonic Olympics or something. And then the Sunshine thing, I think we're getting a decent amount of Mario. Like, I can get why you're annoyed because we love these games so much. But I guess on the flip side of that, if they pumped them out quicker, they probably wouldn't be as good, and then you wouldn't love them so much. But that's just my take on it.
Interesting. I don't have a take because I don't know that much about the game industry. So I'm sorry that I can't contribute too much information.
But I think that's like such a cool dynamic, though, because compared to from now to last month, you already know so much more about the game industry than just like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I think that's so cool because there's gonna be a lot of people. There's gonna be a lot of people on the channel with like the same knowledge level as me. You know, gonna be some with a little more, some with a little less. But like for the most part, I'm pretty well versed in my game knowledge. But then like we're also gonna be welcoming new people. You know, the whole point of video games, and specifically Nintendo, is anyone should be able to pick up the controller and play. Like, there shouldn't be like, oh, you need to pass this bar to be a gamer. So I think it's cool that the audience is going to get to, one, people who aren't as into games, but like want to be, are going to be able to relate to you.
Yeah.
But two, like they're literally going to get to grow with you. Like the more they learn about games, the more you're learning about games.
True. I've definitely, looking at the different, game communities, Nintendo is definitely more of like a super friendly. Like I've been to some conventions with you and experienced that whole world, and yeah, man, it's like super friendly.
Yeah.
More so than a lot of other communities out there. So
it's super
that's
weird.
Awesome.
Like,
not to like poo-poo on,
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's good people in every community.
No, that's what's so weird because
but the entry to access or access to entry feels like
Yeah, and that's what's so weird because like I said in our video yesterday where we were introducing ourselves, like I have my PS4 and my Xbox One and play games on my PC, and like this is a virtual reality headset. Like I game a lot in different communities, but like I have a great time at any Xbox event that I go to. I haven't had a PlayStation until recently. My last one was a PlayStation 2. I couldn't afford a PlayStation 3 because I was a high schooler, and then by the time I could, it was like dying, and if the 4 was coming out.
Exactly.
So I haven't really gone to any PlayStation events, but like I've gone to all these different gaming events. I'm not gonna say like oh yeah, the Xbox events are unwelcoming. Like that's not true at all. Of course. But like the Nintendo events are just special. Like literally, Nintendo has at Woodfield. They do like at Woodfield Mall. Well, they do it all over the place. So we're in Illinois, so the closest Nintendo events to us are in Woodfield Mall, which is a mall about 45 minutes away, depending on traffic. And every Christmas, they do the holiday event, which is coming up soon, and we're going to be there. So I would love to meet some of you guys there.
That'd be sweet.
Either way, when I go there, I see Nintendo employees, and they'll be like, oh, hey, Zach! Like, they just know my name. Like, and it's not like, because I'm a Nintendo champion. It's like I've been around long enough. Right. And then they start talking about like other people who I know and like follow on Twitter, and they're just like, oh yeah, like so-and-so and so-and-so. Yeah, they were just here yesterday. Did you catch them at all? And it's just so... That's like not even rare. That's not even the right word for it. That's like... the only
It's
place.
special.
Yeah, that's special.
Special, just like you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Keith wants to know
Yes.
what some of our favorite games are.
Ooh.
So
I can go through my game history.
yeah, I was going to
the
say we can let
experience
you
that I
go
have
first since
with gaming. So okay, I'm gonna go super brief because there's not much, and so my uncle. So back in the day, my mom and I lived with my uncle. We all lived in this apartment above. My grandfather owned a business, so like
I'm learning stuff I didn't know. This
so
is great.
we lived. It's actually downtown. So we lived above his business, and this was when I was like born. So like from the time I was born to the time I was like 4 or 5, probably 5-ish. So he was like a big PlayStation guy. So he was playing PlayStation. I remember he would have buddies over. They'd play NHL and NFL and all that stuff, and then he had Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot,
Nice.
which I played that a ton. That was pretty much the only kid-friendly game he had. But like the first Resident Evil, like I remember that being on the screen. That terrified me. That scared me a lot when I was a little kid.
Dude, it's so nuts because you look back at that stuff now, and it's like 8 polygons. You know, like the face is like one flat thing.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, keep going.
So from there, I got a Nintendo 64. Was my first system that I had. It was a purple one, and I had the purple see-through controller.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
My cousin had that controller, and I was always so jealous.
I only had one though. Never had two.
That's okay.
I'm
I had zero.
an
of
only
that one.
child, so like I didn't have any brothers or sisters to play with. Like it was just me playing by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is why, and it's interesting. This was before like the internet and.
Yeah,
Like
before
that-
Xbox Live.
We're not old. I don't know how old the chat people are, but like the time before online gaming. So, what did I play on that? There was the Pokemon Stadium.
Can I guess one of them?
Sure.
007 GoldenEye.
That comes a little later. I was introduced to that game a little later in my life.
Okay, I know.
I played Stadium.
Okay.
I played Pod Racing,
yes.
and I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1.
Nice.
Were the 3 that like were on rotation.
Those are some pretty heavy hitters to have on rotation, though. So that's good.
That was great. And then we switched, and then I got the PS2. I was really lucky. I got the PS2 like right when it dropped. I was actually super, super lucky. I think it's probably from being an only child. But when the PS2 dropped, got it right away. And when the PS3 dropped, got it right away. But I've always been more... Games were like very much in the most generic sense of a word, were like a hobby. Mm-hmm. It was like a thing that I would do if like I was bored.
Tyler literally
basically.
has been... I know in the video he said like he knew he wanted to be a filmmaker at 8 years old. But like Tyler literally has been running around with a camera in his hand since he was 8 years old. And there's just stacks of VHS tapes that like... are Tyler's old movies from when he was a kid.
I started editing on a computer when I was 12 or 13, and like that's just kind of what I've been doing my whole life. So that's where my main focus has been.
No static.
Cool. That's where my main focus has been. But games were like a thing where it's like, okay, because you always have to take a break from your main thing and just be like, all right, what can I do to like shut my mind off and just enjoy, just relax. So that stuff. First, Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man game on PlayStation 2 was huge.
Yeah.
And then obviously Spider-Man
Pinhead
2.
Bowling. That was one of the mini games where you swing through. I loved Pinhead Bowling.
Yep. And then my buddy Colin was the one that introduced me to GoldenEye. And then Medal of Honor, I think, too, a little bit of that. But I didn't really play that stuff. I'm not big into the war games. Just because I think, honestly, I'm bad at like the first-person shooting stuff. Like, I'm terrible at it. So
that's fine. I was just double checking that we were good still.
But yeah, I'm just not. I've never been good at the first person shooting game. That's why when Halo and like the Xbox 360 came out, like I kind of fell off at that point because all of my friends were like doing the online thing and doing that, and I was so bad at it that I'm gonna be honest. Like I felt like I can't hang with these people. Like I can't. Like I'm not good. I don't want to ruin their like their experience playing the game, if they're not progressing, if they're not. So I just kind of, I was like, all right, well, I have my own thing, I have my film stuff, and I'm going to do that. And then I kind of stopped playing games.
Nice,
So,
that makes sense.
little brief
Like,
history of my experience.
Got you. No, it's so cool that, like, you know, through hanging out, like, we've played the Spider-Man game together a good amount.
Yep.
But, like, it's cool that, like, I get to help you dive back in that, too, you know? And, like, yeah, like, it's just cool to be, like, in the gaming world, it's called a Sherpa. A Sherpa is Sherpas are people in real life who, if you want to go climb Mount Everest, you hire a Sherpa who's been up it hundreds of times,
Gotcha.
and the Sherpa guides you
Nice.
up Mount Everest. So in the gaming world, it's called a Sherpa. A Sherpa is someone who helps people get into the swing of a game, or like helps them like someone who's struggling or whatever. Like, oh, here's how you do this. Like I have crazy like rockets, so we'll get through this. Don't worry. But like, I'm a play casual. But like, if you start needing some help, then I'm gonna bring out the big guns.
Huh.
So. Yeah, they're becoming more popular now that like people have Reddit and the internet and stuff. But some of my favorite games, Keith. So this is gonna be surprising because I said I love Nintendo more than anything else, which is true. But my all-time favorite video games are the Kingdom Hearts games, which I mean they did come out on a Game Boy and stuff, and in the 3DS for Dream Drop Distance. But I love Kingdom Hearts so much. In that I know Kingdom Hearts 3 came out on the Xbox One, which I had, but I couldn't do it. I grew up playing that game on a PlayStation. So
True.
I had to buy...
I played the first one as well. I owned the first one. Couldn't get through it, though.
That's okay. It was kind of difficult.
I couldn't get... Everyone's going to laugh at me. I couldn't get past the first shadow monster.
At the island.
I couldn't get past that. So, unfortunately, from what I didn't get to experience the game, really. Which maybe we'll play, because honestly, like, I would love to...
Oh, we definitely are going to play that.
Experience the game.
Yeah, you guys are going to get to watch Tyler play Kingdom Hearts for the first time. But, yeah, I love Kingdom Hearts so much that even though I already had an Xbox One, and Kingdom Hearts 3 was the first mainline, which just means has the number in it, was the first mainline Kingdom Hearts to come out for an Xbox and not just the PlayStation, I still had to buy a PlayStation 4 Pro. Like, I still was like, I can't play this on an Xbox controller. Like, I can't. Like, I have to buy a PlayStation.
Right.
So, I literally bought my PS4 just for Kingdom Hearts. But really, that was more like the excuse. Because there's so many good exclusives for the PS4. And also, I knew, like, Spider-Man and stuff. You know, so I was
Spider-Man
like...
came out around the same time as the new one, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man came out...
Maybe not. I can't remember the...
What, a little before?
I did play the new Spider-Man, guys. I played the new Spider-Man. I enjoyed it very much.
I agree. Keith says 3 was okay, but 2 is still the best. I agree, but remember, too, when 2 first came out, it was very bare bones before the final mix. I loved it. I didn't get to touch the final mix for a few years, and it's still, like, as much as I love Kingdom Hearts 1, like, 2 was leaps and bounds better.
I got a question.
Yes.
For the chat as well. Well, this almost isn't a question of if. It's almost kind of a question of when. But do you think that we're going to get a film?
Kingdom Hearts movie?
Yeah. A Netflix or would it go on Disney, this new Disney streaming service?
So, I was about to say, so that's hard just because it is...
You've kind of explained.
It's full of all these different Disney properties,
Yeah.
but I mean, we have Avengers movies, everybody's crossing over, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, they're... So, I guess Okay, you know what? Normally I would say we might not, at least not for a couple decades, but Wreck-It Ralph 2 happened, and every single Disney princess was in that. So, yeah.
Oh.
I think we will end up getting one eventually, especially, too, because, like, it's so weird as fans. Like, I know people say fans think they know what's best, but sometimes we just do, because it's like, oh, if this movie was like this instead of that, we all would have seen it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where, like the Sonic thing, like, we're like, yeah, that was a really bad choice, and if you would have asked any Sonic fan, like, beforehand, hey, is this the design we should go with? They all would have said no. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like we'll
get into
so it's
at
weird
some
because
point.
I'm like they love money, but then I'm also like I'm like studios love money and they know better than me. They have whole marketing teams. But then at the same time, I'm also like I've seen what some of these marketing teams do sometimes, and it's almost like when you put too many people in a room, no good ideas come out. But
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts has all of the Disney properties, and then also the Kingdom Hearts fan base, but also now Disney owns, Marvel. So like
Exactly.
in Kingdom Hearts 4, we could see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like we could see Marvel stuff.
Exactly. I don't think it would be live action if it is a movie or a trilogy or whatever it is. I don't know if it'll be necessarily live action. It might be mixed. It's just if you're going like, how are you going to do Mickey Mouse? Like live action, unless he's like Sonic, but like,
That's true.
I don't know.
But then you have characters like Sora who don't completely have realistic proportions,
Right.
but they're still very realistic looking, walking around next to Mickey and Donald. Or when you're at Pirates of the Caribbean, everybody does look like real humans. And Mickey and Donald are still just walking, or Mickey's not really in that world too much, but Donald and Goofy are still just walking around doing their thing there.
True. Well,
But-
I mean, again, I would assume it'd be like Detective Pikachu, almost.
So
Style, right? I don't know.
So Donald and Goofy
Who knows?
were more realistic looking in Pirates World than they were in the other worlds. So also too, you could have different animation styles. But I'm getting a little too far deep in that.
Sorry,
but basically, what I want to say is, at first I was like, I can't see any way that could happen. But now I'm also like, when you literally can get the entire Marvel fan base, or not the entire, but still a portion of the Marvel fan base, and then a portion of the diehard Disney fans, like I love Beauty and the Beast. I'll see anything Beauty and the Beast. Like, okay, well here's Beauty and the Beast, but also here's Captain America, and just Kingdom Hearts as a whole, like all in the same movie together. Like that's just money, So like, at first I was like no, but then I'm just like, I feel like the dollar's too powerful for it to not happen.
No IP is off the table at this point.
And also too, I would love to
in
see
a decade of IP.
I would love to see Howard the Duck.
Last 2 decades.
I would love to see Howard the Duck and Donald Duck like interact together. I think that would be amazing.
I want to get back to some more of his question. What are your other favorite games?
My other favorite games, so all of the Kingdom Hearts, like I said, and I'm really excited for whenever the final mix for number 3 does drop, if it does, or if the DLC just becomes the final mix. But Mario Kart, all day, every day. I used to have some world records in Mario Kart. Don't. Our sound is still good. I got spooked, guys. I got spooked. Mario Kart is definitely one of my favorite games. Specifically, Mario Kart Wii. You might think I was going to say Mario Kart 8 DX for the Switch. I love Mario Kart Wii. I used to have some world records in Mario Kart Wii when I was in high school. This is before I even did the competition, and then I got a couple after I won the competition. But yeah, Mario Kart Wii is just, I feel like the Wii remote was the perfect size. I like using the Joy-Cons. I know most people don't even use motion control because you can be more precise with the thumbstick. Use your thumbstick.
When driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Use your thumbstick. I'm gonna beat you with my motion control still. I was, for the teen category when we did compete in 2010, I was the only one, as far as I can remember, I was the only one actually using the motion controls. Everyone else was using like the Wii remote and nunchuck to use it like a controller. But that being said, I love Mario Kart Wii because I feel like the mechanics are very balanced. I think 8 improved so much stuff, but I feel like the loss of the wheelie is so huge for the bikes. I really do, because it was such a good risk-reward dynamic. You go and pop your wheelie, and now you're going even faster. But if someone bumps into you, now it's gonna take a hot minute for you to speed back up, and everyone's gonna pass you. And when you're doing the wheelie, you can only go pretty straight. You can tilt a little bit in other directions, but you can't like full on turn. Like I feel like that losing that took a huge chunk out of Mario Kart. I do love Mario Kart Tour also for the phone. I've been playing that a lot. I stopped these last 2 weeks just because channel stuff.
Right.
But so Kingdom Hearts, Mario Kart Wii, but Mario Kart as a whole, Donkey Kong 64, I think is one of the most underrated games of all time. I grew up on that game. And then, last but not least, definitely not least, the greatest video game of all time, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
You've talked about that game before.
It is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best game I have ever played in my life, and I feel like it probably ever will, because it's just that good. But, yeah, those are my favorite video games, for sure.
Cool. Well, in some other news, if you guys, it's not really game related, but it's animation style, so that's cool. But the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sequel is announced for 2022. So they did, like, Sony released their little teaser video that shows, like, 2022 on their Twitter. So
with the animation and stuff.
So we're getting a sequel to that. I enjoyed that film quite a lot.
Yeah, I liked it, and this is me being, like, nitpicky, because, like, when you love a character so much, like, you feel an ownership of them, whether that's for better or for worse. I understand I own nothing of Spider-Man, so I think it's okay that I can feel that ownership, because there's some people who feel it and are entitled to, like, yell at the creators and, like, people about having wrong opinions.
Right.
But, like, I know I don't. I know this is just my opinion at the end of the day. But, I don't know. It was just more of a comedy than anything, I felt like. Like, if you had to put it in a genre, I feel like it would be comedy. There were so many hilarious moments.
For sure.
Like Nicolas Cage's noir Spider-Man. This is purple. And it was the green, right? When he said that. Yeah. But, so my thing with it was, as a huge Spider fan, or a huge webhead, I guess that's what they call it, what we call ourselves. I've never, but as a huge webhead, there's so many alternate universe versions of Spider-Man that are so cool and so awesome, and they chose every single funny one, I guess is more my thing. Like, my whole life, like, as a kid,
interesting,
on the 1990s Spider-Man crossover that they did, on that crossover in the cartoon, before he had to fight Spider Carnage on his own, or when he went to take down when he had to go fight Spider Carnage after that, he crossed over all these cool different versions of Spider-Man and stuff, and he led them because he won the Secret Wars and the other ones failed. So, like, ever since then, I've been waiting to see that again, if that makes sense. Ever since I've been 8, I've been waiting to see all these Spider-Mans together again. And then we get it in a movie, but it's just, they're there for jokes more than anything.
Right. Interesting.
So that was like that's a personal thing. Like, I know that's a personal thing. I understand it was a great movie.
Yeah.
But, like, that's my personal, like, I liked Spider-Verse, and, like, now that, like, I'm completely aware of what it is, like, I'm just, like, I enjoy it more the second time I've seen it. But
it's interesting. I mean, I guess, because a lot of things, like, what I do is I look at the creative team behind the movie. And that tells you, if you follow the track record, same thing with games. I'm sure you guys can do the same thing. You figure out who makes it, and you know what kind of game you're going to get. So, like, you look at Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are the directors of that film. They directed Lego 21 movies. And 22 Jump Street and Lego Movie. So, like, you know what you're getting. So I just find it interesting that you thought...
That's true.
Or you hoped you were getting this type of film.
Well, I more just hoped for something cooler. Like, the animation and stuff was cool.
They're bringing 2099 in the sequel. Maybe.
Yeah, they are.
Because they teased that at the end. Spoiler. Sorry.
That has me excited.
That might be a spoiler. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I think it was more just, like, a personal, like... Yeah, just and, like... I always feel like Miles is so underdeveloped. I feel like Miles just gets Peter's, like, thrown away storylines, you know? Like,
I can see that.
Like, oh, who's Miles dating? Gwen Stacy. Like, what? Oh, so this alternate universe version of Spider-Man, who's a completely different person? Well, what happened with him? Oh, his uncle died. You know,
you got
like,
a point. You got a point.
So that's too, like, I don't like Miles that much for that reason. Like, and it's not even Miles himself. Like, the character Miles Morales is fine. That's what people have done with him,
right.
and like the stories they've given him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him have better stories because I love all things Spider-Man.
For sure. Well.
But I am excited about Spider-Verse 2.
Excited about Spider-Verse 2?
I am.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, the fact that they got 2099 Spider-Man, and I'm sure they're not. I feel like we're going to see Spider-Ham again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just feel like I don't think it's going to be the whole cast. I don't know. I don't think we're going to see Noir Spider-Man because I feel like they made all the jokes with him they can make.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be gone.
Ham and Gwen will probably be the only ones that'll be back.
Yep. Ham and Gwen, and then maybe... Shoot, I said I was a big Spider fan. Now I can't even think of it. Robot Girl. With her...
Her name was what? Penny?
Yeah, Penny, I think.
Penny Parker?
Yeah, so I feel like she'll be back too, because they can probably do more stuff with that, and also too, it's always cool to have a giant robot. Like,
very true.
But, yeah, so I am excited about that. I know I kind of started it like I wasn't, but I am.
Very cool. All right, well, topic that I want to move on to real quick.
All right.
Is that Star Wars trailer.
That Star Wars trailer.
If you guys couldn't tell. We're both big Star Wars fans, but...
So I don't want. Do we want to go heavy spoiler, like potential spoiler in our speculation, or no? I don't think we do. No spoilers. Okay,
no, I don't want to spoil stuff.
Just making sure we were on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it after.
It's awesome.
Or pause this and then go watch it and come back.
And it makes the one trailer even better.
Yes, that is something that he pointed out to me, which I thought was really cool. Is once you watch the newest trailer that came out, if you go back and watch the first trailer that popped up for The Rise of Skywalker, it makes it so much better.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because the first trailer plays on nostalgia of the whole journey, not just nostalgia, but the emotional journey. Like, you know, it starts with at the beginning, and then it moves all the way to now. But, we didn't really know what the now was.
Well, that's the D3 special look. There's two different versions. There's the first trailer we got with Rey running.
Yeah.
That's how it opens. And then in the desert. And then the special look is where it's got the nostalgia stuff that they showed at D3.
Yeah. I more meant the nostalgia one. It makes that one better, too.
Yeah.
But...
Definitely.
Yeah, this new trailer, though. Amazing. That's one thing. Even if you hate Star Wars, the trailers they make are some of the best.
They hired the best. They hired the best trailer because the trailers are cut by different people. Like there are entire companies, production companies that just cut trailers. So that's cut. Like the marketing team goes out,
which is so interesting.
Hires a specific production company to cut the trailer. Like it has nothing to do with the film studio. The film studio gives them notes. The film studio gives them the footage, but it's all in the trailer company to cut whatever they want, basically.
Yeah, that's so interesting to me. I would just think this is just me who hasn't been in the industry too long. I only started voiceover January. Well, I went full time in January, but it's so interesting because to me you would think that's just part of the director's job, and the editor's job is like the director then after they're done, or even the writer then says here's the stuff I want in the trailer in this order, and then the editor would edit it that way.
A lot of time, the writer, literally what happens is the writer writes the draft, and then the studio pays them, and then they're gone. Unless they're writer directors, bye bye. They get paid and they're gone.
So
and if the say the company or the production company, the studio goes, okay, cool, but then they want to rewrite, then they rewrite. They'll go pay somebody else to rewrite what that other person did.
Mm-hmm.
And that original writer's got no say.
It's
you sold your draft to the studio, and then they can go rewrite your stuff.
I feel like if I made something, I would want to make the trailer too. You know what I mean? That's just me. Like, I feel like I would be
Yeah.
like, oh, this is like my baby. I put so much like effort into making this exactly what I want it, specifically like the director and editor.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then from there, I would be like, okay, well, I know how I want the audience like.
right.
their
There's
first
special
look to be.
there's special occasions to that, right? So obviously, like Christopher Nolan, like he's big enough that he's going to be involved in the making of the trailer because it's his like he's like the biggest filmmaker in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
Same thing with like maybe not in a different level, but like Kevin Feige, who didn't necessarily direct the film. This is the creative
head of Marvel.
the creative head of the MCU. He has a say, but he's at the top. So of course he's going to tell the marketing department like what to put in the trailer.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, but you have to be like the biggest of the big.
Yeah, it's just interesting to me because like you said, everything's about like money. You know what I mean? So like if you already paid your
for
like
the studios,
yeah,
not necessarily the filmmakers or the directors.
But I mean, like
for
you would
studios,
think
it's all about money.
I'm saying for studios, you would think like. I think you'd be able to just put like that you have to make the trailer also in the editor's contract, and like you know what I mean. Like for studios, like that just seems to me like the cheapest way. Clearly, it's not because that's not what they do.
It's just not the way the industry runs.
It's just interesting, and like I love like.
But
I just like I love thinking about that type of stuff.
Definitely, we explore that type of stuff on this podcast and on this channel. We'll get more into it. But what's your favorite part of the trailer? What's your favorite shot of the trailer or line of the trailer?
I know what your favorite part of the trailer is.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, it's more of like your favorite part to like laugh at, but my favorite part of the trailer. Oh man, that's so hard. That's so hard. I don't know. Maybe when Rey is running in the beginning, because we see the Jedi training helmet drop and the little laser ball like come behind her, and like she's training. That means like that's just what that means. That's not a spoiler. That's what the trailer shows is she's training, and that's just like I've wanted to see her actually train. We thought we were gonna get that in Episode 8. The makers of the movie said that's what we got in Episode 8, but like Luke never trained her once, so like she never like I never got to see a Jedi get raised up, which is something that's been huge in both of the other trilogies. You know, we see Luke training, we see Anakin training. I haven't seen that with Rey, so I'm just that got me jazzed.
I think a lot of that has we'll talk more about this man, I'm sure, at a later time, but I think it had a lot to do with Rian Johnson being like, no, like I'm literally going to take what you think you know about Star Wars and just kind of like flip it.
Head.
Like you think that Rey's going to get trained in this episode? Nope. Flip. Like not going to happen. Like we're going to go out of our way to write a character, and just reject her. Like, sorry. I just think JJ set it up. Like JJ set it up and Rian was just like, nope. We're gonna. I don't know. It's a hot take on that movie that will.
No, that makes sense. That's not even really a hot take because it's the fact that it was set up.
I don't hate the movie, but like, let's just put it this way: I haven't seen that movie in over a year, so. And
For Tyler, that's a big deal.
I watch Star Wars movies quite a lot, Harry Potter and Star Wars quite a lot. So, but anyways, my favorite part of the trailer. I'm a huge. Well, from what I think Kylo Ren was. Like constructed for, and basically J.J. Abrams, what I think he wanted to do with that character. I'm a big fan of Kylo Ren, obviously because he's the one carrying on, that we know of. He's the one carrying on the Skywalker name. So like, this trilogy in a way is about him, and I'm really hoping I'm really hoping with the Knights of Ren coming in, we see them in the trailer.
Yep.
But with them coming in, that it literally is more of, yes, it's about Rey, but I want it to be more about Kylo, because Kylo, that's where a lot of the questions come. Like, where are the Knights of Ren? Who is Snoke? Like, what's their relationship? And I know there's a comic out right now that's explaining their backstory and all that other stuff, and like when he trained with Luke and everything. Well, to me, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. That should have been in the films. Like, you should have had that in the movies. It's not cool to be like, oh, we're gonna make stuff, but then we're gonna force you to go to find out the real questions to really give you the background of these characters, we're going to make you go look at some comic books. It's not cool. It's not good storytelling. And yeah, we've just left these movies with so many questions. But my favorite part of the trailer is when Kylo comes through the water and he's like, "I do," and she's like, "Nobody knows who I am," and he's like, "I do,"
because
like, yes,
yeah, I've had a theory since Force Awakens, but like, I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, oh yes, I love that part, and I know you like that part also for another reason too, because he comes out and he's like. He literally walks through a wall of water, like it's so splashy.
Yes.
And then her hair.
I thought this was funny.
Her hair is like a little wet. She's like 20 feet away from him.
Exactly. And like the side she's on has like no water. The waves are going crazy all around in the ocean or whatever, like all around the water. But like just him, he's the one that just is completely soaked and has to walk through this wall of water where she's just like, "I'm totally fine over here." Like I don't know if she's smarter than him or she's using she's using the force to like push the water away from her. And Kylo's just like, "I don't care. Like I'm brooding and I'm emotional and like whatever." Or if it could just be like a visual metaphor of like, look, he's like sad and like depressed and like, and she's just like, "I'm confident." Like it could be like, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting because again, going back to filmmaking, like in films, you don't do anything by mistake. Like things don't happen by mistake necessarily like that. When you're dealing with visual effects and pyrotechnics and like water like that, like that's a choice. It's a choice to like and visual storytelling in general. It's a choice to put him in through all that water and to make him. I don't know if it's like a character moment or him like coming to some sort of like, you know, his character arc or whatever. Like if he's he's venturing into a new persona of himself or whatever that means visually. But like that was an active decision that the filmmakers made. That we're gonna keep her not in the water wall.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go through this water wall.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think, oh no, so that was our topic. What up, people? Just caught Mason's video. What's up, Disneyland? How you doing?
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. I think we should start wrapping up, but instead of just wrapping up, say a little bit more about the channel because they don't know this, but this happens every Saturday. You know what I mean? So like, neither of us remembered to say that. But
I could have put it on the graphic. I'm sorry.
So Pop Culture Cave is our Saturday podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do this every single Saturday. We do have a tentative schedule. We're gonna make it into like an actual like nice graphic, so you guys can see it. But you have our content today. You have our Pop Culture Cave. We don't post on Sundays. That's our break day. But if we have like just an extra video, like say I did an unboxing that week, I got something in the mail, unboxings aren't in the schedule. If they were in the schedule, that means I'd have to buy something every week. So what we do, if there's an unboxing or an extra video or something like that, we'll publish it on Sunday. We'll just throw it to that next Sunday. So that way you guys like sweet bonus video. But we are going to be posting every single day besides Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
It will happen every Saturday. There may be some Saturdays where I'm out because I have to film stuff for school.
Or we might move it to a different day because of both of our schedules. Like, oh, we're working on a film. We're filming our Superman movie on this day.
Yes.
So then it's like, okay.
We are working on making a Superman film.
Yeah, I said first draft in the video yesterday, but I meant first draft of the script.
Yes.
So we finished the first draft of the script, but we did not film anything yet. But yeah, so like Pop Culture Cave, it's gonna be Saturdays at noon. But if it's like something comes up, we will let you know ahead of time and be like, hey, we're gonna do this week's video on Friday instead, or hey, this week's video is going to be later on Saturday or earlier. You get the idea. We'll keep you posted. But that's our weekly live stream. That's like our only one live stream every week that we currently have scheduled.
Us together. There'll be other live streams.
Yes. And then Mondays, I'm going to be posting so our next video that you can look forward to. I don't have a name yet. I don't know if the series needs a name or not, but I'm going to be posting gaming videos on Monday, very similar to the ones Mason did, where it's just like, hey, what do you guys think about this? Or like, hey, here's a gaming related story, or hey, here's some gaming news that broke over the weekend, or do you guys think they're going to add more Pokemon to Sword and Shield down the road as DLC or free DLC or patch them in or whatever. So like Mondays, I'm going to be talking about games. Gamer talk is what I'm calling it in my head for right now, as I don't have a schedule. But so be excited for that. That is the next video, and that is coming Monday. But yeah, and we have other stuff. Do you want to talk about some of the other stuff that we're doing?
So there will be a portion of this channel that's like explores filmmaking more. In terms of, I would like to do a video. What did we discuss? 2 a month, ish.
Oh, your bigger ones. Yeah. Are you talking about? Is this for a weekly content or a monthly stuff?
I was gonna do monthly.
Oh, okay, so like the video essay things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we got. Okay. So I'm doing basically like film school related stuff where I talk about what I learned in film school that week. So I will. So it'll be a weekly thing where I just do a video where I talk about some stuff that I learned and hopefully can educate you guys more about the filmmaking side of things, which I'm really excited about.
And like break down like cutscenes or
so,
music videos.
So I really want to do like breakdowns of things where we can look at like cutscenes of video games or whatever. You guys can suggest, maybe let me know your favorite cutscenes of all time or whatever you want to look. And it doesn't have to be like, it can be from anything. Or if you guys are curious about a movie or whatever and you want to throw me a clip or something, like I'll break it down. I can react to it. Like I said, I mean, I'm pretty knowledgeable, so I can tell you pretty much anything you want to know about the clip or about the behind the scenes. I'll do my research and we can discuss about it for sure. Analyze cutscenes, and then I would like to do some monthly stuff where we talk about filmmakers. So I'll highlight certain filmmakers and kind of do like a video essay on these filmmakers. I think it'd be really cool to do game ones too, because now probably a lot of you guys know most about that, but I don't know the creative people behind the video games. Mm-hmm. So I would love to learn more about the creative people behind the video games as well, because I'm just more of like a behind the scenes type of guy. I really like that stuff. For sure. So that might be cool. And then Disney Plus is coming.
So we'll be reviewing a lot of that stuff.
So we're gonna
like the Mandalorian.
I was gonna say the Mandalorian is coming out in the next couple weeks. So you will get reviews of each episode. Those episodes are gonna come out weekly. I think actually the first 2 are coming out. One drops on Tuesday, and then the second episode drops on that Friday. So we're gonna get 2 that week.
Yep.
So we will definitely be hitting you with reviews of that.
Yeah.
Because I can't wait for that, because that's Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau, if you don't know who that is, look him up.
Yep.
He's great.
And as far as like weekly content goes, like, so it's cool, like you guys know a little more. I'm gonna be doing Tyler says he's gonna be doing his video essays like at least like 1 or maybe 2 a month. We'll see. Where I'm gonna be doing the same thing related to games, but it's not just gonna be video essays. It's also going to be theories. We have our weekly content, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second, but we do also have like monthly content where it's like there will be at least one of these every month. Mm-hmm. Like and at least once a month I'm going to be getting a video game essay out or a video game theory. I'm leaning toward, with how quick I've been able to make them so far, I'm leaning towards twice a month. Like that's going to happen. But I'm not going to promise that yet, just because like I don't want to make promises to you guys that we can't keep. Mm-hmm. So every month you're for sure getting a video essay from Tyler, and for sure getting a video essay / game theory from me. So like, one of my, like, I have a theory about the Breath of the Wild timeline, and that it's actually at the beginning and end of the entire Zelda timeline, and it's a pretty cool theory, I think. So like, you're gonna be getting that this month. You're gonna be getting Tyler's Jon Favreau one, right?
Yeah, it's video essay, basically.
Tyler's Jon Favreau video essay.
Highlighting Jon Favreau, who is the director. He didn't direct The Mandalorian. He wrote The Mandalorian and is executive producer of The Mandalorian. But I want to highlight him just because he's one of the greatest filmmakers we have. He's also the director of the first Iron Man. So we have,
and Elf.
Yeah, and Elf.
Rested Elf.
So we have him to thank for the MCU. Him and obviously Kevin Feige. I'll do one on Kevin Feige too.
So you guys are going to be getting stuff like that every month. But then your weekly content, you're going to have this podcast every Saturday. It's going to be a lot more structured normally. Like, we're still going to be, like, loose and talk with you guys. But we're also going to have, like, 5 topics prepared. And, like, we're not going to run through it or anything like that. That's just ridiculous. But, like, what we're going to do is have, like, transitions that we've practiced, so to speak. So it'll be in the right order already, but, like, I won't know what he's going to say about, say,
Right.
Batman, if we're talking about Batman.
Right.
I won't know what he's going to say about Batman. So you're still going to get real organic conversation, but then the topic after Batman is, say, a new video that Bat and the Sun did about, like, Mario fighting Master Chief. Like, we would have a transition already prepared, so when he starts saying that, or when I start saying that after talking about Batman, I know, oh, this is about to lead into me talking about Master Chief.
Yeah. It'll be structured.
Yeah, so you're going to get a little more structure. We'll still be chatting with you guys in the chat, but it's still going to be, like, real conversation. It's not just going to be, like, a scripted thing or anything like that.
No.
But so this is happening.
None of it's scripted.
None of it.
This podcast
Except for all of it.
No.
Ooh, no. But
Yeah,
so
we scripted the static, guys.
Yeah,
That was totally scripted.
So you guys are going to be getting this podcast every Saturday. Every Monday, I'm doing a game-related video. And we're not sure on the rest of the schedule, but other things you're going to get every week is, like Tyler was saying, his film school, where he either talks about what he learned in film school that week or analyzes a cutscene or something like that. But it's more film. It's through a film lens, whether it's video game content or about an actual movie or music video. It's still through the film lens. But, like, it's cool that we can have video game stuff in there too through a film lens.
Definitely.
I'm going to be uploading voiceover videos on Wednesdays. I think Wednesdays. Again, we're still ironing out the schedule. Every week you are going to get voiceover content from me. I'm thinking, the first upload since Pokemon Sword and Shield come out soon, I am going to, for the first, like, 8 weeks of it, I don't know, like, how I'm going to combine these videos yet, I'm going to be doing Pokemon voiceover. What up, Villager? I'm just giving the rundown on how the channel, like, is going to be scheduled a little bit.
I'll be back. You can
That's fine.
send them off.
All right, cool. Well, you want to say bye?
Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you next week, and I'm happy to produce content for you guys. So comment in the chat anything that you want me to break down, and I will break it down. So thank you so much.
Actually, if you want to go there, then you can just hit end stream when I thumbs up, because I'll wrap it up right now.
Okay, cool.
So guys, like we said, we're getting our form and function down. But basically, so besides that, I'm going to do voiceover stuff, probably Pokemon, so like Jigglypuff, like Snorlax. Little preview for you. But you're going to be getting voiceover content every Wednesday. I'm probably going to run through every single generation of Pokemon. And then there's other stuff throughout the rest of the week. But that's you'll see more when we have the schedule officially ironed out. But just know, you are getting at least 6 uploads a week. There's old unboxings I've done. I unboxed a hat very similar to this one, because it's the same type of hat, for Mason. And I talk about Mason in that video. So I'm going to upload that here as well. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me and Tyler. They can still hear you if you want to say
yes,
bye.
thank you guys so much.
And thank you so much once again for welcoming us with open arms. We'll see you in the Pop Culture Cave next week, but also, too, be sure to tune in on Monday for our next video. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.